Yeah, so I know what everyone's talked about with this particular EZA. EZA, Dokkan Fest, Captain GINYU, and the banner units. I am quite shocked that they did this, even though the GINYU Force category is small, but it's also the fact that there's sort of a buff to uh Mercenary Tao's new category. Was it the mission execution category? Which they're all on. I believe they're all under his 200% leader skill, right? Yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, these two, but mostly just him, just because he's the one with the highest buffs right now. Anyways, let's talk about this. Oh man. First off, can I just say, why didn't they do this for what you call it when Tech Kefla's ECA got announced? Why didn't they put freaking Kappa under there? Why didn't they do that? Because in Kappa sucks. I need to take out my glasses for this. Oh my god, it's just so bad. Oh my god. Anyways, let's jump right in. Now, in terms of his ECA stats, I think I've seen them already. They're pretty, no, decently high. But I'm not gonna go too in depth into it until we get the data download out here. But let's just get the rundown. So, what are we looking at here? One key, 30% to Space Traveler Warriors. Let's just, as with new 20% leader skills, get ECAs. The only main difference is just that one key. Everything else is the same. Terrifying Caligars, Pandemic Saga, and then Space Traveling Warriors. That's the additional buff. Nothing crazy. 200% attack and defense. Launches additional, does a high chance of becoming super. 20% damage reduction, and then gives GINYU Force one key 60% attack and defense with 20% crit. That is a big buff. Yeah, that's a huge support right there. Nice, nice, nice. So a very small. Actually, let me pull up the GINYU Force category because I know. Yeah, I know the category is small. But here's the problem. I always think he's the GINYU Force just because he's GINYU. But as you know, this category is small, so they have to buff it somehow. And the way that they're doing it is by putting these guys on mission execution. But as it is right now, you could probably get away with something. 150% attacking defense when super attacking. Okay. Okay, so it's much better than, of course, as he is right now. Gets 20% attacking defense per GINYU Force category ally on the team. This is a small problem because you want to run him under the best leader skill so far. Under the best leader skill, and that is Mercenary Tao, who obviously does not count as a GINYU Force category ally. So if you have this guy, and you look at all the other ones, you have him, you have him, you have these guys. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You choose one of them. That's 100% because he only needs what you call it. If I go in here, how many does he need? Up to maximum 100, so 5, including himself. So he just needs 4 more others. Well, those are here 4 others. Just these two because they're ECA'd. Him, him, and then obviously you could choose either of these guys. I honestly don't care. I think just getting the tech one is fine as well. But that's as far as you can get with the that buff that he's providing. When there's another GINYU Force category ally on the team, he is effective against all types, and then he has a high chance to launch an additional super. Not launches an additional with a high chance for it to become a super. No, no, no. It's a high chance to do an additional super. I forget exactly what I gave his build, because I have him already. It's just that, I forgot what I gave him. I think I gave him additionals. So I guess it works, but I know that he transforms. But what else does he do? For one turn per character's entry, or when HP is less than 30. Oh no, when HP 70% or more, he has. Oh, he gets an additional 30% crit and damage reduction. So he has a 50% damage reduction overall. That's pretty good. That's pretty good because what do you have? He only had this from here, but then it just gave him that potential additional super, that 50% chance. So it's a flip of a coin, one or another. Oh, my luck's gonna be great with this unit. But it's not bad so far. Of course, the active skill does not change, but the passive does. Oh, I forgot about the super attack. Okay, so still stack. Damn. Well, at least he could do more damage, but damn. They didn't greatly raise defense on this dude. Come on. Hey yo, the festival of battles exists. What do you want? What do you want to do? Make GINYU Force the best category team to run the festival of battles? You're crazy. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll take what we can get. At least he stacks. That's the good thing. What about where's he? Right here. So now we're talking about going into Ginyu Goku. Now, Ginyu Goku, I know he stacks, but let's see what he does right here. Recovers HP, so that did not change, of course. Gets 250% attack and defense with one key, so they just slightly increased it, okay. Launches an additional, that's a great chance of becoming super, so they bumped this up completely. It's effective against all types, that has not... Wait, what? Oh... Oh, so they changed this. Usually with EZAs, they keep the foundation of how the character is designed. So there's some aspects that the character is still the same, as you've seen, but they've changed this as part of the actual base passive rather than being conditional. So now he's effective against all types just generically. And he has that 50% damage reduction. Okay, cool. I like that. When he attacks, he gets 150% attack, 50% chance to crit, and then a great chance of launching additional. No, no, no. Let's not give him just a guaranteed additional with a great chance. No, let's just give him a great chance. Ah, I see. Okay. That is fine. That they also changed it a lot on here. Okay. So when receiving an attack, he gets 150% defense. So he's basically getting the Kefla treatment. And then, oh my, there we go. There's a chance to dodge. But instead of, stacking up to it, like they have for his EZA, no, I mean stacking up for it like he had in his base kit, they just gave it to him just straight up. I don't know why I worded it that way. That's stupid of me. But at least you get a guaranteed, which is not I didn't mean a guaranteed. I mean like you just get it right away instead of having to build up for it. But it's pretty good that it's pretty good that they have it in here. And then if you have Jace on the team, he can use the scatter effects. Oh, oh, I never noticed the high chance to use the scatter effects. Okay, interesting. Sure, I'll take it. That's pretty solid. And then a super attack greatly raises attack and does immense damage. Nothing too special. Defensively, I think he's gonna do fine. Because 150% defense, I think, is multiplicative on top of the 50% damage reduction. So, and he has dodge. Even if enemies did cancel dodge, I think he'll still be fine for the most part. I think he will. Alright, let's take a look at these guys. So let's start with Okay, why not? Let's start with these guys right here. Raccoon and Goldo. I have them. So this is gonna be a fun one to look over. 3 key 150% to Planet Namek Saga. Okay, sure. Let's get another sub-lead support. Sure. 200% attack and defense with 30% damage reduction, great chance to guard, and seals. When guard is activated, they get 100% defense, and then launches an additional, does a high chance of becoming a super. Gets 50% attack and defense on super, and then for every attack received, they get 20% attack and defense up to max of 100, so 5 hits. And if there is, okay, so there's an ally that includes GINYU in the rotation. You get guaranteed guard, which activates this. They get 30% damage reduction before attacking, so that's stacked on top of this if they're in slot 1. And then, or if they're like in a different slot, if they get AoE'd. And then they stun the attacked enemy. Interesting. Let me see what they changed in here. They gave him damage reduction in here, and then they upped the chance on here. They gave them extra defense and additionals here. They basically 2 times this buff. And then they gave damage reduction and guaranteed stun here, which is actually a lot better. It is. In terms of stats, of course, it's going to be slightly lower than other, like, close to Dokkan Fest level stats, but like regular, pre-EZA essentially. But that's not too bad though. I think these guys are gonna do pretty well. I think. But you need to have GINYU on rotation to get these buffs, so it depends on how you build the team. But they're probably gonna work the way they are with GINYU than without him. Oh, super attack, that's right. Super attack. They greatly raise attack and defense for a turn, and then greatly lower attack and defense. Okay, nice. That's fun. So they just bumped this. They bumped this up, but did not bump this, which is fine. That's how it's supposed to be. Now we're gonna go into Jace and Birder. Okay, so what do they do? Space Traveling Warriors 3 key 150%. They get 200% attack and defense. With the additional, that's a high chance of becoming a super, so pretty much exactly the same as these idiots. They have a great chance to dodge. That's nice. They give support. Okay. Having this guy on rotation, having this unit on rotation with the Ginyus, it's gonna be an insane amount of support. Because I know every goddamn Ginyu Force unit actually supports each other. Very wild, right? And then for every attack they perform, they get an additional 50% attack and defense up to max of 200%, so 4 attacks essentially. When they receive a super, okay, interesting. They get an additional 10% chance to dodge temporarily. And it depends on how many supers, but most likely it's just gonna be one time. So an additional 10% on top of the great chance, so it's 80% already. And then when there's a Ginyu or a Ginyu, oh my god, I can't read. If there is an ally's name includes Ginyu in the same rotation, they get an additional 10% chance to dodge within the turn before receiving an attack. So slot 1, I guess. They really want you to put these units in slot 1. And then all allies get 30% attack and defense for 2 turns. Oh. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So not only are they giving double support, but they're also a dodge or die unit, which is fine. But they have a really strong support. They do. And I value that. I value it pretty highly. Let me see. What is their super attack effect? Raises attack and defense from a turn. Gives. What did they have before? Oh. Oh, it just give the 20% attack and defense. Dude, this unit is like a support god. Like a support buff god to the Ginyu Force category. Wow. Wow, okay. This is gonna be interesting. So basically, they all support each other. They all have to. Well, we'll see. When the data download drops, we'll see. So, let me know what you guys think of the Ginyu Force EZAs. I think they're pretty solid. No, some discrepancies, like some may have not changed, some have. They just want to keep like the foundation of the character. So, I'm not surprised. But I am pretty excited. So, let me know what you guys think of the Ginyu Force EZAs. I like them. I think they'll be coming out in the next couple of days, if I know the timeline correctly. But we shall see. So, let me know what you guys think. And as always, I will see you all in the next one.